signs you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Today is August 30th, 2022. It is 2:19 a.m. All right, I have a lot to share with you today, and I hope I have enough videos before. Let me see, I'm going away on Friday, coming back on Sunday, so I hope I have enough videos for you guys to watch while I'm gone, because they are catching up and I'm not editing as quick because school is getting started and I'm busy doing a lot of stuff. But there is a lot of videos and tweets and articles to share with you, and it seems like last night, even though I've been on on IG quite sometimes, it seems like last night I pretty much introduced myself to some people on IG. I post some stuff, you know, lately I've been posting a lot of things on my community board, and then I'll say go on IG to see some more. But yesterday, it seems like yesterday I shook some people, write me a whole biography of stupidity. So I started putting some people in place. So when I finish here, I hope I remember, go back on IG and post those text messages that Megan had with Jason Knuff, the one that I be showing on my videos. Okay, and that is it 6 a.m. 6 a.m. email? Yeah, looks like some people are in the dark on IG. All right, so a lot to share with you. Let's go on Twitter, and then I have 2 articles to share with you. Let's go. This is that first one, and then I'm gonna read that article. Okay, this is Omid. Why will I give the very people that are calling my children the N-word a photo of my child before I can share it with the people that love my child? Okay? You tell me how that makes sense, and then I'll play that game. Duchess Meghan speaks to the cut. Alright? I forgot it's a thread. When asked about forgiveness, when her and her royal-in-law, Meghan says, quote, "It takes a lot of effort to forgive. I've really made an active effort, especially knowing I can say anything." Okay? Let's read that. Cool. And the thing is that you could see that woman have not speak for how long? I don't know. She did the Ellen, talk about little thing here and there. She did the Oprah to tell her side of the story. I don't know, but these people have written, I believe there's somewhere I came across about 56 plus of articles just on that first episode on that day. All right. It's interesting. I never had to sign anything that restricts me from talking. End quote. She reveals as she ushered me toward the door, quote, "I can talk about my whole experience and make a choice not to." End quote. Why doesn't she talk? Still healing, she responds. I wonder if, given all she's put behind her now, she thinks there is room for forgiveness between her and her royal-in-laws and her own family. Quote, "I think forgiveness is really important. It takes a lot more energy not to forgive." End quote. She says wisely, and she continues, "But it takes a lot of effort to forgive. I've really made an active effort, especially knowing that I can say anything." End quote. She says, her voice full of meaning, and then she is silent. She breathes in and smile, breathes out, says, quote, "I have a lot to say until I don't." Do you like that? Sometimes, as they say, the silence part is still part of the song. All right. Let's go. I'm gonna come back to read some of the comments, but let's read. Go. I have it open. Oh, there it is, and I will be commenting. Okay, the same way when I play videos. Okay, I stop in between. The cut. Meghan of Montecito. She's left the firm behind. Harry's found a polo team in Santa Barbara. The kids are doing great. Now she's ready for her next act. By Allison P. Davis. And photographs by Campbell Addy. Okay. The conditions are right for confession. It is a beautiful August day in Montecito, and a beautiful sitting room and a beautiful home. Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor is lively 3-year-old with a shock of ginger curls identical to his father's. Toddlers enter the room demanding, "Mama, listen to..." You know what, that just remind me? Harry, in one interview, he was saying, I think that was with Hoda. Harry said, Archie interrupt more of the Zoom meeting than anybody else. So that just, something like that, he said. I'm paraphrasing. So that's what just remind me of. Okay? Toddles enter the room demanding, "Mama, listen to his heartbeat," with a wooden toy stethoscope. He stands, tummy protruding, while his mother, Meghan, convincingly performs her glee at hearing the thump, 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 thump in his chest. Archie giggles and, satisfied, toddles right back out again. Okay? Meghan, relaxing in a cozy chair, gazed over all that is climate control and high ceiling and sun dappled and perfectly marshmallowy and hers. An invisible hand has lit a Soho House branded rose water candle, and the founder, Nick Jones, is a friend from, quote, "long before I met Harry," she says. And that scent fills the air, mingling with a gentle tone of a flamenco inflected guitar flowing from a speaker. Then, in the lull in conversation, Meghan turns to me and leans forward to ask in a conspiratorial hush, quote, "Do you want to know a secret?" End quote. Okay, Meghan silence no more. Look around, make sure nobody who will be is listening in. Then the top secret drop, quote, "I'm getting back on Instagram." Oh my goodness, she said, her eyes aligned in a devilish. Okay, this could have been a troll, delivering a nothing with such gravitas. Feels as if Meghan, who has been so trolled by the media, is serving it back just a little. But as I quickly realize, it is actually news. Before this chapter in her life, before everything difficult that spun off from marrying the Duke of Sussex, I mean, the thing that they doing to her, it's, if you look at the rest of the kids in the royal family, it may not, some women that they may like in the future may not want to marry these kids. I don't know. Okay, and let's continue. And along with him, the British monarchy, she was just Meghan Markle, a woman with a plum role on a US procedural and moderately popular lifestyle blog, The Tig. As herself, she amassed 3 million Instagram followers by sharing snippets of a basic life, yoga, food she likes, hikes with friends, her Beagle guy, fan watch as she attend event with her suit castmates and charity galas, night out at Soho House in London and Toronto. She ran that account for years before she met Harry. But on the heels of their engagement, control over her Instagram was just one thing. Just one of the things, along with the Tig, her passport, and the freedom to open her own mail, she gave up. She'd love sharing her life with people, she says, but she loved Harry more. Okay, quote, it was a big adjustment, a huge adjustment to go from what kind of autonomy to a different life, says Meghan. She loved Harry more. Wow. Can you imagine this? This is the love Harry has been searching for. She's been doing all of that. She was willing to give it all up because she loves Harry. Okay, Meghan was permitted to join Harry, Kate, and Will on a pre-existing account, Kensington Royal, that she had no control over. Quote, there's literally a structure by which if you want to release photo of your child as the member of the family, you first have to give them to the royal voter. What? First give it to the royal voter? The UK media pool, she explained, usually the photos will be on media outlets before she could post them herself. That didn't sit right with Meghan, giving her strained relationship with the British tabloid. Quote, Harry's girl is almost straight out of Campden. Okay, in one of my videos, we discussed this already. Okay, is how the Daily Mail introduced her to the British public, and especially since she will soon have a child of her own to protect. Quote, why will I give the very people that are calling my children the N-word a photo of my child before I can share it with the people that love my child? I'm telling you, Meghan is one smart cookie. She will not give her dignity away just because of she married Harry. Okay, it didn't say that. That's my answer than that one. Okay, she asks, still ruffled. Quote, you tell me how that makes sense and then I'll play that game. Okay, in April 2019, 1 month before Archie was born, Meghan and Harry launched their own Instagram handle, Sussex Royal, which reached 1 million followers within 6 hours. That was I think I spoke about this as well, a world record of some sort. Okay, on their own account, they refused to play the exchange game. That's the thing. Harry find the right person to marry who felt the same way as well. Since Harry was a young man, he did not want to play that game.
People can get away with writing the stuff they do, not just about me, about everything and everybody.
And that mistrust of the press, I mean, how far back does that go? Is that something that's
I think it's fairly obvious how far back it goes, to when I was very small.
Okay, they broke their own news, posting photos that sometimes never even made it to the royal voter. Shortly after they officially stepped back from their royal duties, they shut down the Sussex Royal. Okay, they could no longer use royal in their branding. Okay, so maybe that will explain some of my humble opinion that I've been saying in other videos. Later in an interview with Fortune, Meghan declared that she wasn't planning on getting back on social media. The constant bullying had been too much. So this divulgence, in addition of being newsworthy, is a symbol of progress. Proof that she and Harry have made it to the other side of all the drama that defined their past 3 years. Quote, especially now with archetypes coming out. So she did that interview before, before the first episode came out. And today the second episode is gonna come out. Oh my God, I'm gonna have tons of things to edit. All right, let's continue. Especially now with archetypes coming out, she says, steering the conversation toward the reason she agreed to sit for an interview in the first place, archetype. The podcast Meghan hosts is the first much anticipated offering to come from the pair of high-profile deals the couple signed in 2020 with Netflix and Spotify. Each episode features her and conversation. There it is, conversation. And that's where a lot of tea is gonna be spilling. Okay, I spoke about that. Those type of, when you're having conversation with people, a lot of things tend to come out. And I'm sure she has a list of topic of what to speak of with whoever she's speaking with. And then after she bring that topic up, things are gonna spill. Okay? In her conversation with her famous friend discussing the ways women are unfairly labeled experience, Meghan notes she has been through herself and is finally ready to talk about. Progress, however, is a series of steps forward and leaps backward. That's right, because everything she says in those podcasts, look at just that first one. The thing that came out of that is the fact that not only Serena Williams is going to retire, which we already know, and also the fire that took place in Archie's room. Alright, later Meghan will relay she was no longer sure she will actually return to Instagram, though she has been media trained. That's the thing, this is where, okay, she went to school for that, because she has 2 degrees.
What did you study at college?
I double majored theater and international relations, and then I went and worked for the U.S. Embassy for a bit. And
where?
In Argentina, in Buenos Aires.
That's sensational. You speak Spanish?
I do now.
Okay, this is where she could have helped the other brother who wants to be popular, but instead he saw hate when he knew Harry was dating her. Okay, didn't even give her a chance to show herself and give a chance for him to know who Meghan is. Alright, he went straight on the hate campaign, and then Meghan could have easily helped him with the media train kind of thing. Alright, let's continue. And then royal media train, okay, and sometimes converses like she has a tiny bachelor producer in her brain directing what she says. At one point in our conversation, instead of answering a question, she will suggest how I might transcribe the noises she's making. Wow. Okay, quote, she's making this guttural sound and I can quite articulate what it is she's feeling in that moment, because she has no word for it. She's just mourning. That what she's saying here, I get it, because in her engagement interview, when the person was asking her question, there are times she was like, this kind of thing.
And Meghan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved in various causes. You've been an ambassador for UN Women. For UN Women.
You could see how she's processing those kind of things in her mind. All right, let's see here. When I'm editing, I'll insert it to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, at this stage, post-royal, there's no need for her to hold back. She's flinging upon the proverbial doors to her life, as any millennial woman whose feminism was forged in the girl boss era will understand. She has taken a hardship and turned it into a content. Just like some of the squad are saying, those nonsense that those voters keep on spewing, is like they're giving her content to talk about. All right, Meghan, that picture looks nice. Wondering if that was in her backyard. All right, let's continue. This one I think is a long article. Okay, Meghan's journey from deal or no deal suitcase girl to princess had the making of a fairy tale, or at the very least a stellar romantic comedy, but it took almost no time to turn it into extraction plot from a mid-90s political thriller. The seemingly storybook wedding in 2018 was followed by a year of clandestine conversations with the 1200-year-old institution dubbed the Firm, during which the couple asked for help in relieving Meghan's declining mental health. When those talks went nowhere, okay, that remind me when Princess Diana went to the Queen, of all people, went to the Queen to help her with her marriage. Okay, what did Diana say? The Queen said, "What am I supposed to do?"
But if Diana had hoped to get support from the Queen, she was sorely disappointed. According to the princess, the Queen turned a cold shoulder to her appeal for help.
The princess described an emotional scene inside the walls of Buckingham Palace.
And I was sobbing, and I said, what do I do? I'm coming to you, what do I do? And she said, I don't know what you should do. Charles is hopeless. And that was it. That was help.
This kind of thing. So it's almost the same thing is being played here, but we need to keep on praying for her protection. Okay, because those people, they do not know how to stop. All right, there were even more clandestine conversation with a network of rich and powerful friends that led to an escape to Vancouver Island for a 6-week holiday that turned into something far more permanent. It was from there the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan, made a surprise announcement that they will be stepping back from their role as senior member of the royal family, and an Instagram post so full of hidden context and meaning that M16 could use it for message decoding training. You know what I think is, after the South African incident, you know, the tour that they make there, I think this is where they made the decision, okay, we're gonna leave, that's it, this is just too much. Okay, and then after that they were thinking how they're gonna get the hell out of there. And then when they use that you know, that holiday to Vancouver Island and Canada, and this is where they decided, you know, let's make that public. Okay, and then just stay, they don't need to go back and stuff like that, because they had taken her passport. And there's a possibility if she was herself to go, they would not let her leave without, you know, with Archie. Okay, the accepted exit term, or Megxit, to use the term the paper's favorite, even though Harry declared it's misogynistic, stipulated that the couple will no longer make appearances on behalf of the Queen, will no longer be permitted to use the HRH designation, and will make their own money through the Prince Charles provided some financial assistance for the first year. This, never forget what Charles did to him. Okay, though Prince Charles provided some financial assistance for the first year. Okay, they love to see people in pain, and they took that opportunity knowing very well they're not fully stable yet. They took that foundation off the ground underneath them and then say, survive without us. That's what that meant. All right, they were left since public funding to bankroll both their lives and the security that protected those lives, and the press had just leaked the location of the coastal home they were staying in. By March 2020, the pandemic was underway, and there was talk of Canadian-US border closing. You could understand why the Canadians were willing to close their border, because the US was not taking any precaution. And Harry and Meghan were trying to find out the best way they could survive. I mean, and then they disclosed their location and all of that. That was one heck of a hectic moment for them, especially with a toddler. Well, no, Archie wasn't even a toddler yet. My goodness. Okay, let's read. Oh, maybe, yeah, just 1 year. Okay, they could see men on boats watching them from the water. Okay, and that's when they disclosed their location. Though Meghan had never met Tyler Perry in person, he had reached out when she and Harry got married to tell her that he was praying for her. I'm telling you, the whole world is praying for her. People with the same type of gods. Okay, there's different gods out there. The same type of gods who wish her well. These are the people who wish her well, who's using that powerful God for her protection. Okay, let's read. He had reached out when she and Harry got married to tell her that he was praying for her, quote, and that he understood what this means, end quote, Meghan recalled, referring to the symbolic weight of their wedding. Okay, quote, and that he could only imagine what it was like, end quote. He also told Meghan to call if she ever needed support or advice. Wow. It took her a long time to do so, she admits. But once she did, she found herself, okay, now we're knowing how that happened, because Tyler Perry did not want to say a damn thing about it. I have that clip when Gayle King was trying to ask Tyler Perry about it. Tyler Perry did not want to say anything.
Mission accomplished. We thank you so much for, oh, Tyler, it's been widely reported that Meghan and Harry are living at your place in Los Angeles. Can you tell us how they're doing? You speak English?
I'm sorry. I think I just lost you. I just lost you, Gail. I'm sorry. We have a really bad connection. I'm sorry. I think we lost Gail King, guys. We lost her.
So Tyler Perry left his number and tell Meghan, call me whenever you need it. Wow. And then Meghan took a long time before she actually called him. Let's continue. But once she did, she found herself telling him every detail of their situation in Canada. Quote, sometimes you can tell your life story to a stranger on a plane as opposed to some of the people that are closest to you, end quote, she says. And in a plot twist I may never get over, Perry offering her one of his home, a little safe house in Beverly Hills, complete with security detail, and became in many ways the reason that Meghan and Harry started their new life in Southern California. Oh my goodness, blood just drizzled down my entire body. Wow. May God protect Tyler Perry, the Sussexes, and keep giving them whatever their heart desire and that you feel is right for them, the Lord. Okay, let's continue. But she already covered all of this in the interview for Oprah. She reminds me with a firm smile and a wave of her hand that signal it is time to move on. In March 2021, a year after they left for America, Meghan and Harry put rumors about Megxit to rest. They took part in an interview special with their neighbor and collaborator Oprah Winfrey that attracts 17 million viewers. Over the course of the 85-minute special, she dropped bombshells, baby, about Charles not taking Harry's phone calls, about Palace conversation where still unnamed someone vexed over how dark Archie's skin will be. She clarified that it was Kate Middleton who made her cry. Okay, for a minute I thought she was gonna say who said the thing about the dark skin. I was like, what? Alright. She clarified that it was Kate Middleton who made her cry over Flower Girl dresses, not vice versa. As the tabloid had previously reported, bombshelled and the firm, leaks and relocation, racism against babies. This was definitely not a fairy tale, but revealing all of it was their way of setting fire to a narrative they didn't control and letting a new one emerge. Yeah, this is why they told her not to speak, but yet they allowed the tabloid to spin it any way that they want, but the truth shall never come out. Alright, let's continue. My first glimpse of Meghan in this new chapter is her crouched in the entryway, arms wrapped around her black lab Pula, Setswana for rain and good fortune, and a tribute to an early date during the couple's whirlwind romance in 2016. The front doors are thrown wide open, as are the doors leading out to the backyard. She stands and smiles with the perfect level of warmth, the gleam of her teeth rivaled only by the shininess of her blowout, backlit by the late morning light, and a scene that looks like a Nancy Meyers cinematic interior, town and country. Goop and Architectural Digest had an orgy and created the perfect moment in California living. She throws her arms wide open too and gave me a hug. Come on through, she says, beckoning me to join her on one of many terraces. The Montecito house is the kind of a big that startles you into remembering that unimaginable wealth is actually someone's daily reality. It evokes a classic Tuscan villa, a Napa vineyard, and a manicure Beverly Hills country club decorated with careful, considerate coastal tone for a casual air, the home equivalent of billionaire dressing down and denim. Wow, the way she described the place. Finding a house to start their new life wasn't easy. Meghan tells me, quote, we were looking in this area, she referred to Montecito, the Tony Beachside hamlet north of Los Angeles. Quote, and this house kept popping up online in searches. As first, they resist going to visit. Quote, we didn't have a job, so we just were not going to. This is where you know your income, how much money you have. A couple things are popping in my head, things that I've said in previous videos before. Okay, let's see here. We didn't have job, So we just were not going to come and see this house. It wasn't possible because of the price. It wasn't millions, so she didn't have the money to pay for it. Okay, it wasn't possible. It's like when I was younger and you window shopping, it's like I don't want to go and look at all things that I can't afford. That doesn't feel good. How utterly humble we all are when confronted with depressingly aspirational Xylo hunt. Okay, they did eventually tour it and fell almost immediately in love, and since they have income now in the form of reported $25 million Spotify deal and reported $100 million Netflix deal, it's within their means. Meghan stopped to point out two massive Dr. Seussian palm tree dead center on the lawn, so verdant it's better not to consider the water bill. What a bill. Yep. Okay, quote, one of the first things my husband saw when we walked around the house was those two palm trees. She coos. See how they're connected at the bottom? He goes, my love, it's us. Now, every day when Archie goes by us, he says, hi mama, hi papa. They had toured only the ground when they told the real estate agent, we have to get this house. Meghan says. It didn't matter that they didn't had seen the inside. Meghan gestured to the sweep of the property from chicken coop to pool house to main house. Eventually, they purchased it for $14.65 million. We did everything we could to get this house. She leans her head back and let the sun beam down into her pores because you walk in and go. She takes a deep inhale through her nose and breathes out her mouth. That's those yoga things. Good joy and exhale and calm. It's healing. You feel free. Wow. So she fell in love with the house without even seeing inside. She was like, that's it. I want that. Sometimes you know when you want something. Yep. Okay. Oh my God. I'm already 30 minutes. Let's continue. Even if she and Harry had stepped back from their royal duties, Meghan is still very aware that people see her as a princess. Quote, it's important to be thoughtful about it because even though the Oprah interview, I was conscious of the fact that there are little girls that I met and there's just like, oh my God, it's a real life princess, but her ambition, that's it, ambition for herself and the little girls who look up to her are more than to marry into a position. Quote, I just look at all of them and think you have a power within you to create a life greater than any fairy tale you ever read. I don't mean that in terms of, quote, you could marry a prince one day. I mean, you can find love, you can find happiness, you can be up against what could feel like the greatest obstacle, and then you can find happiness again. Meghan's Harry, or H, as she calls him, anecdote, or my love. That's what Harry called during the Invictus. I can't find that clip. I thought I had it, but I can't find it. So many other videos that I wanted to put that clip in, and I'm in such a hurry, but I can't find them. Okay? As she referred to him when he's standing in front of her, as he is now in a navy blue athletic shirt, a t-shirt and no shoes, has appeared from somewhere in the house to say hello. I stand up, instantly understanding the confusion Meghan must have felt when she first met the royal family. Am I supposed to shake his hand or bow or courtesy or salute? Do I call him Prince Harry, the royal family known as Prince, ex-Prince Harry? This author is funny. The Duke, Sir, Mr. Wait, does he have the last name? As if to preempt any attempt I met, I might make at courtesy, Harry extend his hand to shake mine and welcome me to their home. Okay, it's very beautiful, I assure him, not calling him anything at all. Okay, we're fixing all these things, the pipes, but that's a whole story in itself, Harry explained, exasperated. So they're still doing some work around the house. The day before, while Meghan was on the photo shoot for this issue, Harry had been left to his own devices, he tells me. You were gone for like 10 hours yesterday, he marveled to his wife. Tell her the first thing you said when you got back last night, he said, turning to me. She said, I'm not a model. I was like, no, you are. Of course you are. You can be a model. And she's like, I'm a mom. It's like, you can be both. Harry says, earning himself so many points. Harry wants to make sure everyone that comes around him, this is his wife, okay? that blood sizzling down his body during the engagement interview. He's still in that phase. Okay, in October 2020, the couple launched Archwell, a catch-all company for their post-royal pursuit. Thus far, it has 3 divisions: the non-profit that puts compassion into action, according to the website; Archwell Production, which oversees the Netflix deal; Archwell Audio, which oversees the Spotify deal. Okay, the two run Archwell from their share home office, specifically from 2 plush club chairs placed side by side behind a single desk, facing into the room like a throne. Wow. Most people that I know and many of my family, they aren't able to work and live together, Harry says in a passing as I take a peek at their command center, the Associated family, with a vocal eye roll. It's actually really weird because it seemed like a lot of pressure, but it just feels natural and normal. Wow. Their family cannot work together. But here, one desk, long desk, right next to each other. The week I visit things at Archwell are particularly busy. In addition to a trip to Africa for Harry, so that was before Harry went to Africa, on behalf of the charity African Parks, Meghan is launching Archetypes, which aired its first episode on Spotify on August 23. There's another trip in the works on which they'll both speak at a handful of charity events in the UK and Germany, including one for the leap up to the Invictus game, an athletic tournament for wounded veterans Harry founded in 2014. After all the drama, it looks like they designed the exact job they wanted to have as royal but were denied. Can you imagine that? Okay, quote, I think we always knew the first few years of creating this new life from scratch were going to be the busiest, says Harry. Okay, well, it's a startup, Meghan interjects. We were building a business during lockdown. That's for sure. And then Harry interjects, with everyone weighing in, if you do something, they criticize you. If you don't do anything, they criticize you. Anyway, it's a lot, but, okay, quote, and then having a baby in the middle of it all, casually, Meghan joked. Their daughter Elizabeth was born in June 2021. Okay, so far there's been little consumable content out of Archwell. The first announced project was a behind-the-scenes docuseries about the Invictus game. Okay, I remember watching that. Okay, what did it call again? Something. I'm thinking of the bird. I'm thinking of all the thumbnails that I made with the fire. I can't think of the name. I'll show them to you as I'm editing. Okay, let's see here. The first announcement project was behind the scene docuseries about the Invictus game, which has yet to see daylight. Meghan had been working on Pearl, an animated series about a 12-year-old girl who, quote, stepped into her own power, end quote. That's the one that Netflix canceled. And thank God for that, okay? Because it never came out, so nobody said anything that it has to do with the quality of the project. No one has seen it, so they can't say it has anything to do with the project itself. Netflix is going through some stuff, okay? Step into her power, her own power, by traveling through time to meet important women across history. And I told you guys that this reminded me of Carmen Sandiego. For people who know about this little cartoon, I don't know if they still show it, but Carmen Sandiego, where she traveled around the world, it's like more for geography kind of thing. All right, let's continue. When Netflix asked it, quote, there's not much you can do when a company and a division change their slate. That's for sure, she says. And there's also not much you can do when, even if they think the project is great, the media will report it as though it was only my project. That's exactly what happened. Okay? Because there were many others. I've shared that. I don't know which video, but I spoke about this. All right. Meanwhile, Archwell has had a leadership change as the company moves forward. Okay, according to report in the Los Angeles Times, there's an air of impatience around that Netflix documentary, specifically and around what the couple is going to produce in general. Attempt to learn what those other projects might be or what their plans are met with an institutional paranoia by a team that responds to press inquiries as if it's protecting nuclear codes. Oh my God, as if it's protecting nuclear code. I'll tell you, Harry and Meghan is just living a simple life, but these people are running crazy like there's, I don't know. Wow, it is true though. Okay, let's continue. Contact with non-approved employee invites fear and suspicion, confrontation. Question about rumors project, for example, At Home with Meghan and Harry type of docuseries that reportedly has attached director Liz Garbos on footage shot by a team of cameras who have been spotted following the couple around or met with half answers shrouded and winks, code, and redirection. Meghan herself gives off an effortless arms, wide open, relatable affectation. She dangles the glimpse behind the curtain while the machine and place around her slam the door. Okay, the couple has directly smashed rumors of a reality show, both in statement made to the publication and in conversation with me. But Meghan explained there's a difference between a historical documentary and a reality docuseries. I don't know. These people don't understand any of this. They put whatever they feel is right to put. So there, Meghan said it herself. There's no, walking with cameras, talking nonsense. These people keep on putting out. Okay, quote, the pieces of my life I haven't been able to share that people haven't been able to see in our love story, she says. Then quote, what she says was the end of a speech she gave at her wedding, in which she took comfort in the resounding knowing that above all love wins. She adds, quote, I hope that is the sentiment that people feel when they see any of the content or the project that we are working on. Okay, I ask again if what they are currently filming is a documentary about their love story. Quote, what's so funny is, I'm not trying to be cagey, she says. I don't read any press. Okay, so I don't know what's confirmed. I will tell you Liz Garbus is incredible. Liz Garbus also worked on Pearl. Meghan says she's going to leave it to her publicist and Netflix to decide what can be shared. Not much. Okay, as for the rest of her project, she explains, quote, when the media has shaped the story around you, it's really nice to be able to tell your own story. That's for sure. Okay, your eye contact is good, she says suddenly. Oh, I'm laughing because in the middle of serious conversation, she just went to about her eye contact. Your eye contact is good, she says suddenly. You're like looking into my soul. Yep. That's why that remind me also in the Johnny Depp thing, one of the witnesses, they were asking if they see, Amber Heard did this, the Amber did that, whatever. Did you see this on her body? The guy was like, it's when I'm talking to somebody, I look in the eyes. I don't look around to see if they have bruises. But anyway, that's a different story. Okay, I stammer out an apology. I feel it. It's good. I'm like so excited to talk. Okay, Meghan was born and bred in LA, and her mother, social worker Dovia Ragland, lived close enough that she can visit regularly for an active, involved grandma duty. I asked if Harry feels isolated without any family nearby. Well, look, we're both building community, she responded. I didn't have friends up here. In addition to being new people in a new place, they moved in during COVID when everyone was isolated. They are creating a new thing together. Meghan launched into a little story right now. They are trying to teach Archie his manners. Thank you. Thank God. Thank God they mentioned that, because what we saw during the Jubilee, my goodness, I try my best not to talk about it because they were children, but some manners needed to be taught by these kids. This is good. All right. Okay, they are trying to teach Archie his manners. We always tell him manners make the man. Oh my goodness. Man, I hope the others are reading this. Manners make the man. Manners, 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 manners. And one of those lessons, Meghan remembered something she'd learned at a young age from a friend's mom. Salt and pepper are always passed together. Okay, she said, you never move one without the other. That's me and Harry. Oh my goodness. We're like salt and pepper. We always move together. Oh my. That's right. There's some stuff that I be seeing. What was it? It was Oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to bring it. It's gonna bring back old memories. We're not talking about that, so forget that. Okay, these days they are getting back out there together. Recently, Meghan says they took Archie to a birthday party for a classmate. Wow, for a classmate. Everyone was surprised they showed up. Quote, I was in a bouncy castle and I saw this 1-year-old inside. I was like, where's your mom? And this mom on the outside goes, oh, hi, I'm here. I wasn't sure if I should come in. She laughed. I was like, do you need your child? Do you need your child? Of course you can come in. Harry plays polo with, wow, this, and none of this was leaked. None of this was leaked. Okay? Nobody knew about this. This was not, secret photos or whatever. Wow, that was news to me right here. Okay, Harry plays polo with Los Padres and Santa Barbara. They spend time with a close-knit group of friends who have lunch and dinner at one another's home, including former makeup artist and entrepreneur Victoria Jackson, who has become a close friend and safe harbor. They met through another close friend, Gloria Steinem. I'm telling you, these are the things that I was saying. I was saying as humble opinion, but as things are revealing, it seems like I was right. It seems like I have a freaking, I don't know, crystal ball in front of me. Because I've said when Harry and Meghan were dating, Harry saw the people Meghan was surrounded herself with. So he enjoys that. Okay, with the exception of the classmate kind of thing where Archie went to that birthday party and stuff. Okay, with the exception of that, because these are new people or whatever. But other people around Meghan, her friends and stuff like that. All right, because nobody said anything. And I think these people, those classmates or whatever, understand that. Okay, so they need their privacy. Look at this. They didn't expect them to come, but there they are. They show up. Okay, that would have been a huge surprise. Of course, everybody will be surprised. There they are. The whole world is talking negative about them. There they are, showing up at a birthday party, going to a bouncy house and stuff like that. Okay, but let's continue. Jackson invented no makeup, made a fortune selling her product on QVC in the 80s, and has a sprawling ranch near Santa Barbara that she lent to Meghan for the photo shoot. Okay, so that pictures we saw in the backyard was for the photo shoot. And the other thing that I see here, okay, and that's like a little signal it feels. Okay, this part here. Jackson invented no makeup, made this part, made a fortune selling her product on QVC in the 80s, which means, okay, these people work hard for their money. And then there she goes, she follows it by and has a sprawling ranch near Santa Barbara. This we're not giving to her by taxpayers funded. Okay, she earned it, her fortune in the 80s. Now this is what she buy out of making that fortune. Okay, that's the thing I got out of this. This writer is pretty good. Okay, sprawling ranch near Santa Barbara that she lent to Meghan for the photo shoot. Meghan had celebrated her 41st birthday there in August. The kids have been over to pet Jackson's mini pigs. Harry once fixed one of her sprinkler. That's where the squad was saying Harry could come and fix the squad sprinkler. I'm telling you, I remember exactly who said it on Twitter. It's Joanne, okay? Miss Zuzu, okay? It's you. I remember that. I was like, what? Because I didn't read this. I left this for me to when I'm recording. But let's continue. Okay, and of course Jackson is telling her story on an upcoming episode of Archetypes. Okay, quote, I just want to genuinely show up for them, Jackson says, of why she opened her home to Meghan so freely, to be able to get them out of their house because it's complicated for them to go anywhere. Wow, these are good friends who understand Harry and Meghan's situation. Thank God for those people. Okay, you know what I mean. I want Harry to be able to come up here for their birthday or share a time and people to know that I'm not telling anyone when they're here. That's the thing here. Yeah, so I want to keep it that way. Wow. So don't give out my address. There it is. She laughs and then sigh. Quote, I hope that people take their foot off foot of their grass a little bit on all the negative spin, because they're really good people. See, everybody who meet them said the same thing. But people in the UK. But let's continue. There's nothing that affirm a right place contentness more than a trip back to the place you felt you had to leave. In June, the couple attend some of the event for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in London.
Yes, it's me. And you guys are angry about it. Oh my God, I make y'all feel that. Well, this will not take long. Well, I just wanted to pop up here and show y'all how I'm doing. I'm doing great. I'm looking great. I'm feeling great, you know. I'm over here very booked and busy while you bitches over here are still looking raggedy and not doing shit. Wow. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know I'm not going anywhere. So talk your shit, you shitholes. You can't defeat a bad bitch. You just cannot do that. I rise above that. Ew. So I just want to say, hey, and that I'm here to stay, and you're going to be mad every day. Success.
It was their first time appearing at a public event alongside the rest of the royal family since they left. While there, Meghan had quietly seen two more personal matters, slipping back into their former residence, Frogmore Cottage, to pack up their belongings. Oh, very interesting. There it is. I didn't know that. So while they were there, she went to Frogmore Cottage and took some of her belongings. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The cottage is still theirs and has remained mostly untouched since they left. Isn't Eugenie, I think Eugenie was living there, but let's continue. You go back and you open drawers and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I was writing in my journal there, and here's all my socks from this time. The blue and white linen pants she's wearing today were something from the cottage. Actually, they like $30 pants from Boden, and I bought them back. It was surreal to walk right back into the life she's been building in that cottage. There were all it's like a time capsule. There were all the things she had shipped from her old apartment in Toronto and barely got into unpacked. Her sofa, posters of art she collected traveling with her girlfriends and thrown into good old IKEA frame. A past message from a single self she hadn't fully wanted to leave behind. Wow, she was willing to make that life with Harry over there. But the people refused that, and then she went back like a time capsule and packed everything back and go back to the US. Okay, though the home renovation had been sore point both for the couple and for the British tabloid. They had been criticized for using an exorbitant amount of taxpayers' funds, $2.4 million, $3.2 million, for the upgrade on a home they've been giving. Public funding of the royal family is a conflict as old as the Queen Mary bandeau tiara Meghan wore on her wedding day. Headline after headline suggested that the renovation were more extravagant than they actually were. There was never, for instance, a yoga studio with a floating floor. Did they say that? Did the damn freaking royal voters vote nonsense like that? A yoga studio with a floating floor. Never a gold bathtub or copper bathtub. There wasn't a special wing for her mother. My goodness, they've since repaid the renovation costs and they're done with their nonsense. They don't want to hear that. Then look at this. They create one nonsense after another. Once Harry and Meghan solve that issue, they create another issue. So the nonsense will never stop. Only God has to give each and every one of those royal rats a baggage to carry so they could be preoccupied, because they will never leave Harry and Meghan alone. God needs to give them something to preoccupy them with, whatever it may be. Okay, it was bittersweet, you know, knowing none of it had to be this way. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's bittersweet, you know, knowing none of it had to be this way. Meghan says, how did it get so hard? She had tried to play royal. Okay, to play royal. I was an actress. She says, my entire job was tell me where to stand, tell me what to say, tell me how to say it, tell me what to wear, and I'll do it. And I'll show up early, and I'll probably bake something for a crew. Wow. Every movie about an American woman who ends up becoming a princess had a pivotal scene in which she thinks she's doing the job correctly just by being herself, but then some older royal gives her a speech about duty and decorum. I cited specifically The Prince and Me. Okay, she hasn't seen it. Okay, yeah, that would have been really helpful. That would have been a very key tutorial to have had in advance of all this, she says, not quite sarcastically. Okay, but the delivery and a sentence with a steel rod in it. By her own analysis, her problem stemmed from her being an American, not necessarily a black American, she explained. Her desire to ask lots of questions and to never be involved with something she couldn't totally have her hand on seemed to violate an unspoken social norm. Wow. Okay. The reporting of their renovation was just part of the abusive press coverage, the sort of headlines and allegedly true news item that led to the decline in her mental health. The couple figured if the tabloid felt free to attack them under the guise of public interest because their lives were taxpayers funded, then they should just remove taxpayers' funding from the equation, she explained. They suggest to the firm that they be allowed to work still on behalf of the monarchy and make their own money. Okay, now we're getting to that 50-50 here. The quote, then maybe all the noise will stop, Meghan says of their reasoning. That makes sense. They also thought it'd be best to leave the UK and the UK press to do it. They were willing to go basically any Commonwealth. There's the Canada. I had suggested Canada. That would have been the place where they will stay. All right. They were willing to go basically any Commonwealth, Canada, New Zealand, South Africa, anywhere, anything to just because just by existing, we were upsetting the dynamic of the hierarchy. So we go, okay, fine, let's get out of here. Happy to. All right, there it is. They give them no choice. They give them no choice but to leave. Okay, she says, putting her hand up and mark defeat. All right, Meghan asserts that what they were asking for wasn't reinventing the wheel. That reminds me of Princess Anne, who said they're not going to reinvent the wheel. She's not willing to change. All right, there's Meghan mentioning here. Okay, let's go back. Meghan asserted that what they were asking for wasn't reinventing the wheel, that's in quote, and listed a handful of princes and princesses and dukes who have the very arrangement they wanted. And I think Sussex royal Baron had did a video. I don't remember which royal, one of those European royals who marry African American. Okay, they're living their lives quietly and they participate in whatever monarchy rituals or whatever, and then they move on with their life. Okay, I learned that from Baron. I don't know any other royals, but Baron, I watched one of his videos. He made a point of that. All right, quote, that for whatever reason, it's not something that we were allowed to do, even though several other members of the family do that exact thing. Okay, why do you think that is? I asked. Quote, why do you think that is? She said right back with a side eye that suggests I should understand without having to be told. This is those non-spoken words. Okay, all right, Meghan, I'll bite. Okay, it could be that the very reason she was considered to breathe a fresh air at first and then supernova biracial divorcee, self-made, there it is, self-made millionaire, clothes horse, only highlighted the way in which the monarchy was becoming irrelevant to a younger generation, and worse, the ways that it was deeply flawed and racist. Okay, to that, it could be just because she's black. Or perhaps it's owed to the fact that Meghan, who jokes that even my blood type is A positive, A positive wouldn't relinquish control over her own image, and that image, and what is it? If I'm not mistaken, I think the blood A plus is one of the rare one, and then it's the blood type that could go, let's say if someone need blood transfusion, I think, I'm not 100%, whoever's in the medical field who know about this could tell me, but I think it's that blood type that they can use. Let's say they don't have B or was it O? No. Is it O? Now I'm confused. Is it O positive or A positive? Okay, never mind. One of those blood type that can go with anything. Okay, never mind. I'm confusing myself now. Forget it. Scratch that. Okay. Let's go back. Okay. Quote, even my blood type is A positive, wouldn't relinquish control over her own image, and that image had the potential to be too big of a brand. Maybe as Harry battled on her behalf with the tabloid, one stern statement after another, it was all becoming too eerily reminiscent of Princess Diana. Harry had said that. Or maybe it's because by the time she met and married Harry, she was already a fully formed American woman, self-made, self-refined. She had desires and goals and a fan base. That's the army that took the royal family by surprise. That fan base and everything else. Okay? And while she was a fine actress, the job she is best at is envisioning a life for herself and getting it. That specific type of very American ambition just isn't really compatible with being a princess, though it is compatible with her current life, which seems to be the best of all worlds, a palace and a better climate. It's still culturally considered royalty while having freedom from the royal family, a level of celebrity that exceed what she could have gotten through Suits or The Tig, a neighbor with mini pigs. Well, I can't put words in your mouth, I said instead. Okay, and then a pause as she looks down and inspect her hands. The Bachelor producer and her head deliberate how much should be said. Quote, I don't know, she said, casting a knowing gaze out into the middle distance. Alright, so that's from her friend's place. She took that picture. Okay, though it wasn't the planned first project, Meghan is happy for the podcast to be her reintroduction. Quote, it's so real, she said. I feel different. I feel clearer. It's like I'm not finding my voice. I had my voice for a long time, but being able to use it. At its heart, archetype slogan, don't believe the type, is Meghan's way of grappling with questions that have plagued her personally. Why certain women get saddled with labels, why they stick long after they've been proved untrue. The first episode, which debuted at #1 on Spotify, is a chat with her friend Serena Williams about ambition. They talk about Williams' recent retirement announcement and how Meghan never thought being ambitious was a bad thing until she started dating Harry. It's a conversation that hovers between candid or planned it. Okay, the rest of the episode, she'll dig into label like old maid, dragon lady, bambo, crazy, angry black woman, bitch, well, B word, she clarifies, and then squill. Oh, I don't want to say that word. It makes me so uncomfortable. And slut. Will Meghan say slut? Oh my gosh, that makes me so uncomfortable. She has lined up a murderer's rows of guests: Constant Wu, Issa Rae, Lisa Lang, Margaret Cho, and Ziri. I'll let you guess who align with which archetype. Okay, and her own. Okay, so these slogans match with some of these people that she will have in the podcast. Okay, and her own life, Meghan's response to being typecast seemed to be to lean into all the positive thing her story symbolizes. She understands what her accent meant to Black Britons, for whom she's a sign of progress. Okay, this you know what that becoming to me is some of the thing that I've said when Meghan took that picture with the schoolgirls where they were making that symbol with her arm and stuff like that, where I said, you know, those young kids, those young Black kids see Meghan as that bright light, you know, the potential that they could become. And I said the first time that I mentioned that is that the institution wants to crush that dream, want to shut that light down. They don't want those kids to move out of their social status or whatever class that they are in. Okay, where they are, that's where they want them to stay. This is what came to mind here. For whom she's a sign of progress, and to women for whom she's a working mom and a signal boost to this issue that affect them, pay parental leave, equal pay, even though she avoids reading her own press. Meghan knows people see her this way. She recalled a moment from the 2019 London premiere of the live-action version, The Lion King. Quote, "I just had Archie. It was such a cool chapter. I was scared to go out." A cast member from South Africa pulled her aside. Quote, "He looked at me and he's just like light." He said, quote, "I just need you to know, when you marry into this family, we rejoice in the street the same way we did when Mandela was freed." Wow. What? What? Okay, let's read that. I didn't even finish it. Okay. "When you married into this family, we rejoiced in the street the same we did when Mandela was freed from prison." Wow. Of course, she knows she's no Mandela, but perhaps even telling me this story is a mode of defense, because if you are a symbol for all that is good and charitable, how can anybody find you objectionable? How can anybody hate you? You're making a difference to people's life that the institution wants to crush down. That's the thing here. Okay, the result of trying always to do and say the right thing is the impression that she's constantly policing herself. And in a meta twist, I find myself worrying that the words I write about her will be misinterpreted and dissected, rudely and malicious too. In October 2021, the company Bat Sentinel released a study that found not only that the press around Meghan was disproportionately negative, but that 70% of hateful posts about her came from just 83 accounts that reached up to 17 million Twitter users. Wow. I wonder if she was relieved by any of this. After being gaslit, she at last had proof that she had been harassed, but also that it was just a small group of people. That's a lot of people still. It didn't really matter what she did. She will still have elicit this hatred. There has to be some freedom in that. Okay, somehow Archie knows his mother is at the gate of his preschool before the teacher even throws it open to set him free. He's so excited to see her, repeating "Mama, Mama, Mama" in his little voice as he runs toward her, that he leaves his lunchbox behind on the ground. She scooped him up in a big hug, so full of genuine emotion that both closed their eyes. Okay, that's the thing. Archie's gonna have, feeling, affection, manners. Meghan grew up very close to her father, Thomas, a retired light director who gave Meghan her Hollywood bug, but she has been estranged from him basically since the wedding. Okay, he was not in attendance, and every miserable fissure and their former bond has been publicized, often by him. After the wedding, the Mail on Sunday leaked a heartfelt letter Meghan wrote to her father, begging him to stop speaking to reporters. Meghan sued for invasion of privacy and won. Last night I was talking with some troll saying some nonsense, and I had to say, and then saying Meghan won due to technicality and all of that, and I was like, a win is a win, and I'm sure if the Mail won, you guys will still be talking about that win. My goodness. I don't know. It looks like I said at the beginning of this video, I introduced myself again on IG. I didn't post much before, but now it seemed like I triggered some people. Okay, though the defense mounted against her painted her as calculated and manipulative. When I asked about it, Meghan doesn't stay in her sadness for long. Instead, she used it to discuss how toxic tabloid culture has torn two families apart. Quote, "Harry said to me, I lost my dad in this process. It doesn't have to be the same for them as it was for me, but that's his decision." Okay, there's the thing. What is it? And some things I said, it seems like, according to her, her father is dead to her at this point for things that he caused. All right, all he had to do was shut his mouth. Look at how Miss Doria is still in her life. Could come in probably anytime she wants. Have the keys and come in. Okay, I'm just putting my nonsense here. Okay, the call right back to the house is very busy, dictated by a wimp and conversational pattern of a toddler. Archie, munching on a quesadilla, wants to roll the window down himself, but not until we get to a specific huge hedge he mysteriously favors. We assess if he had a good day at school via an update letter from his teacher. If he had a good, he did, and is ready for a full day, and try to find out if he ate his sandwich at lunch. He did not. We solved the question of mid-morning shirt change. They play in the water table. Why are you afraid of height like an airplane? Okay, Archie asked. What? He's asking those, what? Little Archie's asking those big questions. Why are you afraid of heights like an airplane? Archie asked, and that leads to a conversation about the importance of being brave. Wow. If he forgets to say please or thank you, Meghan reminds him of the manners that make the man. That's it. Okay, at a stoplight, she reached into the trunk and produces a brand new black backpack and hand it to her security detail to give to an unhoused man on the corner. They are teaching Archie that some people live in big houses, some in small, and that some are in between homes. They made kids to pass out. Wow, they made kids to pass out with water and peanut butter crackers and granola bars. I ate one. Archie contribute. Okay, earlier in our conversation about her goal for the life she's creating here, she'd remarked upon how if Archie were in school in the UK, she'd never be able to do school pickup and drop up without it being a royal photo call with a press pen of 40 people snapping pictures. Quote, sorry, I have a problem with that. That doesn't make me obsessed with privacy. That makes me a strong and good parent protecting my child. Meghan says for now, even though two Montecito moms waiting in front of the school stop mid-chat to do a double take, Archie is just the cheerful kid who brings a week's worth of freshly picked up food for his fellow classmates and enjoy playing a roaring game at recess. Wow. Here we pull up to the house and Archie leap out. Harry is ending a phone call as Archie throws himself around his leg, Lilibet unsmiling with watchful bright blue eyes. So Lilibet has blue eyes. Okay, it brought, because in that picture that they put out on her first birthday, it could easily be hazel or whatever, but we know it was color. All right, it was somewhat a light shade of color, so it's blue. Okay, now it's confirmed. Okay, unsmiling with watchful bright blue eyes, it brought out by her nanny. She is small and also ginger, and when there is a small person in the room not smiling, it is a reflex to do something to entertain them. I think Lilibet is gonna be the tough one right there. Harry's gonna get that from her mama. Harry start dancing to his own beatboxing, and Meghan bend down and join in, and then I find myself doing it too. Everybody start dancing because of the kids. That is funny. I find myself doing it too until she gives a lopsided smile and we all realize it's a bit strange to be bonding in this way. Oh my God, we ended the visit in her sitting room where there's a massive grand piano Tyler Perry gifted her as a housewarming present. Quote, write the soundtrack for your life, end quote, he told them. Quote, it's interesting, I've never had to sign anything that restrict me from talking. Wink, wink, wink. She revealed as she ushered me toward the door, quote, I can talk about my whole experience and make a choice not to. Okay, why doesn't she talk? Still healing, she responded. Wow. I wonder if giving all she's put behind her now, she thinks there is room for forgiveness between her and her royal in-law and her own family. That's the thing. These people don't know how to stop. They only know how to provoke. I think that's a signal to the royal family. Please stop, because I didn't sign anything with you. I could still speak my own experience. Okay, she gave a hint of that recently on that podcast. I think this is a signal to the royal family. Look, I didn't sign a DNA with you or NDA with you. I could still speak because that was my experience. This is the thing. This is a signal, I think, to the royal family. Stop this shenanigan. Live your own life. Let me live my own. I think that's what it is. My goodness, these people just don't know how to stop. Okay, quote, I think forgiveness is really important. It takes a lot more energy not to forgive. Okay, she's willing to do that. But these people, they're still at it. They think this is the only way to do it. And it's not. If you look at the trend of things, the way the royal family is going at this stage right now, it's not benefiting them at all. I don't know who's advising them. So they should just stop. Tell those royal voters to just stop. Leave Meghan alone. Okay, she says wisely, quote, but it takes a lot of effort to forgive. I've really made an active effort, especially knowing that I can say anything. She says, her voice full of meaning, and then she is silent. She breathes in and smiles and breathes out and says, quote, I have a lot to say until I don't. Do you like that? Sometimes, as they said, the silent part is still part of the song. That is true. Now, people are probably just worrying, what is she gonna say? And this is what usually drive those people crazy, running like a chicken without a head, because they don't know what she's gonna say, because they did so many shady things to her. She is right. Okay, and then quickly and decisively, as if it were my idea, the conversation ends. Meghan set a harvest basket in my arm, a cornucopia of fruit and vegetable from their garden, and a jar of jam from the Lily Bunny garden, the larder. She had the labels made on it. She smiled and waves as I make my way out of the door, wondering if somehow I'd miss everything she was trying to say. Wow. Okay, there's more information here. Now, let me read some of the comments under Omid's post, and then I'm an hour and 70 minutes reading this. Okay, let's see. A lot of people saying, where did the media print N-word for Meghan's kids? Not everything the media person did was in print. A lot was being said about the Sussexes that was not put into official print. Okay, lioness. Okay, exactly. Protect your family and space from toxicity. Okay, if you hear a loud bang over the next few days, it could be in the sound of Meghan hater spontaneously combusting. Oh my God, I can't read too much. All of this, look at this 49 comment, respond on that, but this one a smile. I can't go to all of them. That is a come to Jesus moment for me. Why should Meghan give this rat-ass UK media a picture of her precious children when they are calling them the N-word and monkey and chimpanzee? That's why I forgot about the monkey part when Archie was first born. Okay, Meghan isn't afraid of these people or the royal family. They should be scared. This one of them. Okay, let's see here. At this time of year, when beautiful girls kiss ugly frog, and look what happened. Rumors siding near Frogmore Cottage, Windsor. Okay. Why I love Duchess Meghan. I have no F left to give of Sussex. She is reclaiming her time and life. Why this was my favorite quote in the article. Why and that and Harry popping in to drop bomb then pop back out. I can't with them. I know, right? All right, let's see here. Maybe after these. All right. At Tyler Perry, I knew you were a gentleman, but special shout out to how you provide harbor and safe place to a fellow human, princess or not. That's a kindly value. Okay, you're a king at Tyler Perry. Okay, there's all those hashtag. And the best thing about him is that he gave her his number when they married and said, call me whenever you need it. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And then it took them a lot of time and to humble themselves and call and say, I need help. Okay, as Her Majesty the Queen slowly dies, Meghan Markle claws at her and her family. It has become clear that her demand is for Harry and Meghan to be treated equally to William and Kate, to redefine the monarchy to suit them. She doesn't want to be sixth in line to anyone. Was it? So she will weaken in the family until she gets what she wants. What the hell is that? Okay, I don't understand, but okay. Okay, that's why certain dishes are best served. Not only does the diner not see it coming, it's one time where the server enjoys the meal more. Alright, how about that shot over the bow? By allowing the Sussexes to live without restriction, Harry and Meghan were granted their most powerful asset, an empowered voice. That's why she's burning down the building. I'm even more in love. Alright, there's that. The people's princess until she rise. This thing. Okay, I too wouldn't give them nothing. Meghan, the cut. Alright, let's see here. So glad that Meghan feels the time has come to step out, speak for herself again. Her own voice have been missing, as has a clear picture of her new life. I love the stilling resolve of this. It takes a lot of effort to forgive, especially knowing that I can say anything. Alright, so that's it with this video. There's another video. Ah my god, I didn't even touch the tweets that I'm gonna share with you, but this is one video by itself, the article, and there's another video that's another article. All right, so let's do a prayer. I almost forgot. Prayer for thankfulness. Let's use thankfulness. Okay. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing you have bestowed on my life. You have provided me with more than I could ever have imagined. You have surrounded me with people who always look out for me. You have given me family and friends who bless me every day with kind words and action. I think that fits perfectly. All right, let's pick an image. Let's pick the first one. Prayer for thankfulness, thankful for family. Dear Father, I am blessed. I have a family who loves and cares for me. I am thankful for the many lessons I have learned from them. I have a kind father who is always there to advise me in life when I needed it. Okay, that father that I'm thinking is the Lord. I have an understanding mother who is always willing to listen to my trouble. That's Miss Doria. I have brothers and sisters that are always thinking of me and never fail to put a smile on my face. I thank you, my dear God, for blessing me with such a family. Amen. Those family and friends, so where Meghan could go to a party, nothing is leaked. Go on a bouncy ball, nobody said a damn thing. All right, so these are the new family and friends that Harry and Meghan have surrounded themselves with. Okay, they did all of this, nothing leaked. Okay, which make it more easier for them to be around these people. Right, and still keep that antenna going, because there will always be one. Remember that there will always be one. All right, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. New subscribers, welcome. And that's it. Let me do, or you could be a member. I forgot that. All right, that's it.